welcome to the Global Cricket Premier League. Well, it's match day 1, game 2. We had an incredible first game. Chennaiwolves are winning that by 11 runs. Crucial encounter in that last over especially. And we build up for the next game. Delhi Sharks taking on the Apes. Welcoming my expert, Chetan Arula.
Thank you, Roshan. And yes, Chennai winning the first game. Now it's the turn of Delhi and New York. हम अपने व्यूअर्स को बता दें कि न्यूयॉर्क जो है वो भी आज 2 मैच खेल रहे हैं. तो एक नज़र डालते हैं आज के फिक्सचर्स पर. जैसे मैंने कहा कि न्यूयॉर्क आज 2 मैच खेल रहे हैं, चेन्नई भी 2 मैच खेल रहे हैं. चेन्नई पहला मैच जीत चुके हैं, 2 अंक बना चुके हैं. सो फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव, यू नो व्हाट, दैट्स द लास्ट गेम, चेन्नई वर्सेस न्यूयॉर्क एप्स. जो वो दोनों टीमें दूसरा मैच खेलेंगी. लेकिन अभी की अगर हम बात करें, दिल्ली शार्क्स वर्सेस न्यूयॉर्क एप्स.
Well, absolutely. Now remember, just to give you all a brief reminder that we have 8 teams in the first ever Global Cricket Premier League, where they're going to battle it out eventually. This is the closed league stage. We started from the registrations and we go forward for the land finale in 2 weeks from now. You're watching us on JioCinema and all the action that we're going to bring to you in the next couple of days. Well, we go forward, of course, to the fixtures then, eventually trying to understand how these teams are going to perform and play. 2 teams have already played. They're going to come back and play again. We're having a look at, of course, going forward in the match again. And there it is. This is the team captains then for you. The Sharks taking on. We did see the Sharks playing yesterday, of course, and we could, of course, while we were having our research on for this game, we learned a lot of things as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Delhi Sharks versus New York Apes. And जहाँ तक मैं इन दोनों टीमों को देखे जा रहा हूँ, वहाँ पर you know, it's going to be a very even contest. एक तरफ है दिल्ली शार्क्स जहाँ पे उनकी बैटिंग बहुत स्ट्रांग है, और एक तरफ न्यूयॉर्क एप्स जो चेन्नई की तरह इनकी बॉलिंग बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रांग है. एक नज़र डालेंगे दोनों टीमों पर कि कैसे कैसे ये लोग मैचअप करेंगे, कैसे इनके लाइनअप्स रहेंगे. दिल्ली शार्क्स पे अगर हम नज़र डालें तो जो उनके खिलाड़ी हैं, यू नो, यू हैव जयेश भाई जो रियल क्रिकेट जी हाँ, जो रियल क्रिकेट में नंबर 2 प्लेयर हैं, और साथ ही साथ आपके पास सौम्यदीप्ता भी हैं, सौम्यदीप्ता विश्वास, जो अपने आप को एक गेमर मानते हैं. लेकिन उनके कप्तान मनमीत, 200 से ऊपर का उनका स्ट्राइक रेट है, 6 हिटिंग परसेंटेज, 34% ऑफ द बॉल्स ही फेसेस ही हिट्स फॉर 6. तो यहाँ पर इनकी जो लाइनअप है काफ़ी स्ट्रांग है. देखना होगा कि किस तरीके से न्यूयॉर्क एप्स की बॉलिंग इनका सामना कर पाएगी. उन पर भी नजर डालेंगे एक कि किस तरह से उनका लाइनअप है.
Well, there it is. You go to the first team, of course, we have the Delhi Sharks. We now see the New York Apes, who have also had a decent team bonding session. You look at the Apes, of course. Now remember, at the start, these individual players were playing the entire game, but here the momentum changes, the game changes because they're representing individual players out here.
जी हाँ, हम अपने व्यूअर्स को बताएं कि लाखों प्लेयर्स की रजिस्ट्रेशन आई थी, हज़ारों की नहीं, क्योंकि क्रिकेट एक जज्बा है, एक जुनून है, और मोबाइल प्लेटफॉर्म पर जब आता है तो यानी आप खिलाड़ी हैं, आप खिलाड़ी के लिए चीयर नहीं कर रहे हैं. तो हमारे पास लाखों की रजिस्ट्रेशन आई थी, उसमें से टॉप 48 प्लेयर्स हमारे 8 टीम्स के प्लेयर्स हैं. तो जैसा रोशन ने कहा कि अब इंडिविजुअल गेमर्स की तरह आप नहीं खेल रहे हैं, यू प्लेइंग एज अ टीम, तो डायनामिक चेंज हो जाता है. स्ट्रैटेजी का बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस रहता है, बहुत महत्व रहता है. और न्यूयॉर्क एप्स पर यहाँ पर नज़र डालेंगे. जो इनकी खास बात है रोशन, वो ये है कि 3 खिलाड़ी हैं इनके पास जिनका इकोनॉमी 6 पर ओवर का है, यानी हर ओवर में केवल 6 रन का एवरेज देते हैं ये. तो दैट आई थिंक इज वेरी वेरी वाइटल.
Absolutely. Now remember, when you're playing real cricket, every dot ball is important. Remember, we are just playing 5 overs, so every dot ball counts, and that's what the ballers do, isn't it? Ballers की aim यही होता है कि आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा डॉट बॉल्स डालें, प्रेशर में डालें टीम को.
जी बिल्कुल. और यहाँ पर जो आपके मेन खिलाड़ी हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा काम आएंगे. कैप्टन्स की बात करें, दे आर द प्लेयर्स टू वॉच आउट फॉर इन द फर्स्ट गेम. हमने बात की मनमीत की और जेडी की. लुक एट जेडी लुकिंग सो कूल इन हिज lenskart blue glasses. You know, you need to wear lenskart blue glasses.
It makes them look cool, of course.
Absolutely, to play real cricket on your mobile phone. लेकिन जेडी की अगर हम बात करें, इनका स्ट्राइक रेट 237 का है. दूसरी तरफ है मनमीत, उनका भी 200 के ऊपर का स्ट्राइक रेट है. इट्स अ बैटल ऑफ द कैप्टन्स इन दिस मैचअप, दिल्ली शार्क्स versus New York Apes.
Battle of the captains. Well, we'll know how, of course, all the other players are performing, but remember, the captains are chosen based on the performances from the qualifiers. So, of course, we might have other stars as well who might have come in, but again, it all depends how you play that day, isn't it? Because you're talking about your mental ability as a player, your timing as a player, and eventually affecting your shot output and also your bowling in it.
Absolutely. We have 4 different categories of players: brute and radical, balanced and defensive. तो जो brute और radical हैं, usually आपके top 3 players होते हैं. Brute, you know, power hitters with having really good timing, and the radical ones, they can play according to the situation. So देखना होगा कि ये दोनों टीमें आज क्या करती हैं.
Well, absolutely. We'll get to know it. Before that, we go for the toss where Neeraj is lined up with the umpires and the captain.
Dosto, we are now at match number 2. On my right, captain of Delhi Sharks, Manmeet Singh, and on my left, captain of New York Apes, Jagdish Kumar. Now I would like to call the umpire for the toss. A big round of applause, guys. Whose call is gonna be?
I will. Tail.
Okay. The Delhi Sharks have called for tail, but it is heads. Okay. Jagdish, बताइए, what's gonna be?
We will bowl first.
You will bowl. Okay, cool. A quick question here. Why bowling?
हमारी टीम बहुत अच्छी है, बहुत स्ट्रांग है, तो हर परिस्थिति में मतलब चेज करना अच्छा रहेगा हमारे लिए.
मनमीत, यार बताइए अभी क्या स्ट्रेटजी होगी?
इन्होंने कहा भी हमारी टीम अच्छी है, वैसे तो सभी की अच्छी है. अब बैटिंग आई है ना, अब रन बनाएंगे और जीतेंगे.
Great. Thank you, captains. Dosto, the New York Apes have won the toss and they have chosen to bowl. Over and out, Roshan and Chetan.
Thank you so much, Neeraj, of course. There it is, New York Apes winning the toss and choosing to bowl. I think that's going to become a new normal because you saw the first game, right? Of course, winning the toss, they chose to bowl, and that's what is really helping them.
Yeah, Roshan, आपने मुझसे पूछा था कि क्या सीखेंगी बाकी टीम्स इस पहले मुकाबले से, तो I think यही सबसे बड़ी सीख है कि आप टॉस जीतें तो पहले गेंदबाजी करें. और बहुत अच्छा टॉस है जीतने के लिए न्यूयॉर्क के लिए, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने आपको कहा था कि 3 गेंदबाज 6 की इकोनॉमी पे बॉलिंग करते हैं और 3 गेंदबाज उनके पास हैं जिनका डॉट बॉल परसेंटेज 25% है, यानी 1/4 of the deliveries they bowl are dot deliveries. That's, I think, advantage New York. I think time to go to our casters.
Absolutely, there you are then.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
lenskart. Download the app.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
finolex pipes. पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome back, dear analysts. Devyar Sajjano, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Global E-Cricket Premier League. We've got the second match of the day now between the Delhi Sharks going up against the New York Apes. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise.
Put your hands together for some of the most skilled players in the Global E-Cricket Premier League. This is just the second match of the day, Floki, and things are already heating up. Like the first match, dekhne ke baad, I was on the edge of my seat. If I come any further ahead, I might fall off my chair.
I mean, not just that, right? But you have to remember the way Chennaiwolves bowled, as a lovely analyst pointed out. It was fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen a team bowl with such discipline. They weren't really trying to be too flashy. They weren't really trying to go for those wickets. Instead, their entire aim was limit the boundaries, make sure they can only go for those 1s or 2s, and as soon as power play is over, you should be in the clear, and that's exactly what happened. The Sydney Panthers, they realized that after power play was over, they were in a lot of trouble. So what they decided to do was just try to swing it and see if they can get some boundaries, but that's when they lost those wickets. Wickets that they protected during the power play.
Exactly right. I mean, they were playing so conservatively during the power play, and they did not lose wickets, which give you a sense of hope. That little ray of hope was there, but then they just started to play a little too passively, and that ray of hope went, it's kept on shrinking and shrinking. It just diminished, and eventually they were left in perpetual darkness.
Yeah, there was not a single ray of hope remaining for them after that first inning. I mean, I have to say, It seemed like Chennai Wolves were struggling when they first started off while they were batting. To me, it didn't really seem like they put up a very impressive batting performance. But man, the moment I saw them bowling, I was like, all right, okay.
Now
These
it makes
guys know
sense.
exactly what they're doing. I was a fool to ever doubt them. Why did I even, bother doubting my own prediction, by the way, which we both predicted that Chennai Wolves would win. But
All of
I,
us
for a
did.
second, yeah, all of us did. But I, for a second, doubted it. So, on that front, I am a bit of a heathen. I apologize. But the first match is done. It's completely over now. We're going to be moving on to the Delhi Sharks and the New York Apes. And I do believe we've once again got some very interesting personalities on both of these teams.
Oh, definitely. I think almost every one of these teams has either a superstar personality or a person who comes from really humble backgrounds, which will make for an inspiring story that way. So we've got a mixed bag over here,
Oh,
right? And for a lot of people on both of these teams, this is their first time going to a different city, participating in a tournament like this, competing in a gaming tournament, right? And this isn't even like hardcore 100% gaming. This is a mix of sports and esports, so it like combines all of those things together.
Yeah, this is certainly a first for a lot of people, the players included. And I think a lot of those players being here for the first time, they're probably going to be a little nervous. They're going to be in front of the stage, in front of so many people playing. Then there's that added second layer of thinking about what other people might be thinking while they're watching you play. Figuring out what they're going to do to counter you after what you've shown them. So
Exactly.
just thinking about all of these things, I think some of these players are going to take their time to get settled in. And I think this first day is still some of that. At least with the first few matches, we might see some things that may not be the trend going forward. I mean, Chennai Wolves, hey, they won today, but everyone saw how they played. Everyone made notes, and everyone's going to have a counter strat.
Exactly, right? And that goes even more for teams like Chennai and New York, because they both will be playing multiple matches today. In fact, New York Apes are just about to face Delhi Sharks right now, but they will have another match against Chennai later on today. So that definitely will be a super cool one, because I'm pretty sure the New York Apes were observing Chennai during their game, and now Chennai will do the same.
Certainly, and I think this is a very good opportunity for the Chennai Wolves as well to just sit back, relax, and just observe their opponents and see what trends are developing. What is it that they like about these players and what they're doing, what they can emulate, what they shouldn't do, what they should run away from. So really, I think the biggest advantage to not being or not playing a game at the moment is just to see what's working and what's not working, and making sure that you're learning from other teams' experiences. You're learning that, okay, hey, if sending a brute out in the first overs of the power play is not really working because perhaps the bowlers are playing really, really well, what we can do is maybe save our brutes for later. Maybe let our radicals be a bit more free, because radicals do have the versatility, right?
Exactly.
I mean, sure, during the power play over, there's only two fielders in the outside field. But what you can do instead is have those players be a little bit more, how should I say this? A little bit more YOLO, for lack of a better term. Hey, just go out there, try and swing the bat, see if you can get any runs. If you get out, don't worry about that. We've got a brute who later on should be able to make use of the field.
I mean, that's easy to say, right? यहाँ पे बिंदास खेलने की जो इच्छा रखते हैं बहुत लोग कम हो जाती है. They might have been playing really well during the online phase of the tournament and during the qualifiers, लेकिन अब जब इतने सारे लोग आपको देख रहे हैं, थोड़ा pressure बन जाता है. This tournament is happening in dhruvglobalschool. There's a lot of people over here who are watching you. Most of them are your opponents as well. And then there's so many more people watching you on JioCinema. So definitely that pressure will build on.
Certainly, and you cannot be thinking about any of those. अगर आप उसके बारे में सोच रहे हो तो आप already प्रतियोगिता हार चुके हो. It's
Exactly.
like आपके वो exploit करने के लिए यहाँ पे सारी teams रुकी है, सारी teams देख रही है कि क्या ये nervous है, क्या ऐसे डर लग रहा है, ये वो, and then those psychological factors are going to come into play. But I'm going to have to hold on to that thought. The game is already underway, and it starts off with a bang, a 6 for the Sharks.
Absolutely no mercy. वैभव पिच पे उतरते ही उन्होंने ये बॉल सीधा छक्का मारा. This time उनके लेग साइड की तरफ से बॉल जाते हुए, कोई बात नहीं, he still safe. शॉर्ट बॉल थी तो स्टंप्स पे डायरेक्टली लगी नहीं. I think he can afford to have a dot ball after a 6.
काफी शानदार बल्लेबाजी वैभव की तरफ से, बट लेकिन बॉल फाइनली उठाई जाएगी, लेकिन 3 रन्स दे दिए गए हैं.
Might as well have left it and gone for a 4.
Yeah, possibly. I think वो चौथे के लिए भी शायद भाग सकते थे, लेकिन वो रिस्क नहीं लेना चाहते. I mean, already ओवर की शुरुआत काफी अच्छी हुई है दिल्ली शार्क्स के लिए. तो देखते हैं अभी कि विश्वास क्या कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे.
Razeen changing sides, this time going over the wicket.
Nope, that's an LBW and that's an out. A lenskart out in the very first over of the power play. We talked about the mind games. हमने कहा था कि हो सकता है कि शायद यहाँ पे टीम्स माइंड गेम्स खेलने की कोशिश करे और वैसे ही रसिन पहली बॉल पे छक्का देते हुए दूसरी बॉल पे डॉट, तीसरी बॉल पे 3 रन्स, लेकिन फाइनली चौथी बॉल पे उन्होंने ऑलरेडी एक प्लेयर को आउट कर दिया है.
Biswas, man, I really do feel bad for him. ये एक ऐसा प्लेयर है जिनका 6 रेट 45% आती, हाईएस्ट इन द एंटायर लीग, और आपने अगर उनको ही पहले ही गेम में आउट कर दिया, दैट्स द डेंजर मैन आउट ऑफ द इक्वेशन एंड यू विल हैव अ मच इजियर टाइम गोइंग फॉरवर्ड.
Yeah. And well, now it is Jayesh's turn. Another radical batsman.
Keep in mind that Jayesh is an even more dangerous player than Biswas. He is currently ranked the second best player overall in the league. इसका मतलब वो बैटिंग एंड बॉलिंग दोनों में माहिर है. 224 का स्ट्राइक रेट है उनका. Meanwhile, उनका बॉलिंग इकोनॉमी is 5.93, which is damn impressive considering कि ये ऐसे गेम्स में 10 runs in an over become the normal.
Absolutely. I think अगर उन्हें अकेले मतलब बल्लेबाजी का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दे दिया तो वो अकेले ही काफी सारे रन स्कोर बैठेंगे अपनी टीम के लिए. लेकिन उसी के साथ नया ओवर, दूसरा ओवर है पावर प्ले का और इस बार बॉलिंग करने आएंगे जेठू.
Jitendra Kumar.
Indeed.
You know, he actually is a really popular YouTuber, वो हिसाब से.
Is that so?
Yeah, and he makes a lot of content regarding real cricket as well as a lot of other entertaining content.
Well,
I mean, as entertaining he might be on the internet, can he be that entertaining on the field?
well, that's going to depend on his play, and so far, well, he's doing quite all right, making sure that the batsmen have to stay humble. जयेश वहाँ पे कोशिश कर रहे थे, हुक कर रहे थे बाउंड्री के लिए, लेकिन वापस से सीधा फील्डर की तरफ, right towards that square leg side.
Oh, that spin looked dangerous. हल्का सा टाइमिंग अगर गलत होता तो सीधा स्टंप्स पे जाता ये.
बिल्कुल. गुड एफर्ट तो, लेकिन वापस से हम देख सकते हैं कि दिल्ली शार्क्स वो विकेट खोने के बाद कोशिश कर रहे हैं अभी भी कि वो बाउंड्रीज के लिए जाए. उनमें डर बैठा नहीं है, लेकिन वो कभी भी बदल सकता है. एक बार वापस एक शानदार स्ट्रोक, 2 रन ले पाएंगे तो बॉल बैट्समैन को लगते हुए.
I'm starting to think कि वैभव might just prefer the cover side a little too much.
उन्होंने कोशिश तो की है उस तरफ बॉल मारने की, लेकिन फिलहाल उन्हें वो इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिली. हो सकता है कि अभी वो उस तरफ देखे, क्योंकि अगर वो बॉल ऊंची मारते हैं तो बाउंड्री जाने का काफी अच्छा चांस है कवर और लॉन्ग ऑफ साइड की तरफ, क्योंकि वहां के फील्डर्स इतने पोजीशन में नहीं है. लेकिन मैं जैसे ही वो कहता हूं, a very very good four, a pulsar powerful four straight towards the mid wicket.
I mean, in this context it's cover because वो दूसरी साइड के बैट्समैन है. So
oh, you're right, excuse me.
Yeah, but still that's a very impressive shot regardless.
Oh well, that's an out.
No.
That's a catch. A second wicket in the power play over, and the disappointment in Weber's face is apparent.
He was just starting to gather momentum. एक बाउंड्री अभी उनने लगाई थी, ये वाली भी हो सकती थी बाउंड्री, but this shot lands squarely in the face of that fielder जो कि उनके मिड विकेट साइड पे just outside the circle खड़े थे. Oh, now that's gonna hurt definitely.
और अब बारी आएगी नीप की दिल्ली शार्क्स की तरफ से, जो तीसरे बल्लेबाज होंगे उनके लिए यहाँ पे, जिनके पास बैलेंस्ड बल्लेबाजी के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है. फील्डिंग काफी शानदार, बॉल रोक दी गई है लेकिन 3 रन मिलेंगे. और उसी के साथ पावर प्ले ओवर्स समाप्त होती हैं.
I think this is still very good. उन्होंने 2 ओवर में सिर्फ 24 रन्स रिलिंक्विश किए हैं, लेकिन 2 विकेट ऑलरेडी निकाल दिए हैं. अगर हम यही स्टैट्स हमारे पिछले गेम से कंपेयर करेंगे बिटवीन चेन्नई एंड देयर अपोनेंट्स, यहाँ आपको कोई भी टीम में ऐसा दिखेगा नहीं कि 2 ओवर के अंदर 2 विकेट चली गई है. Both the teams managed to conserve their wickets quite well in the previous match.
और actually अगर आप देखेंगे तो Sydney Panthers की पिछले गेम में they were being baited really hard by the side of their opponents, but have to hold on to that thought once again because well, the point is covered, fielder's there, so you're only going to get two as it once again hits the batsman. The batsman's fine.
Thank God there's no real injuries in this game.
Absolutely. I think we would have had a couple of injuries by the time this was actual in real life cricket. Thankfully, the name implies that the cricket is much like in real life except it's played on a mobile phone. So injuries, yeah, they no business here.
Jayesh has no business hitting the cover drive so often, so frequently getting those 2 runs every single time. Sure, this is consistency. Sure, this will definitely help him gather a decent bit of steam. But these are the kind of shots that can be risky. Now imagine if he mistimed it and the ball actually nicked that bat. It would have been straight at the hands of the wicket keeper. और यहाँ पे एक और wicket गिर जाता Delhi Sharks का.
Yeah, I think Delhi Sharks काफी मुसीबत में आ सकते हैं अगर वो यहाँ पे ध्यान से नहीं खेले तो.
Man, this entire over seems like deja vu.
Yeah.
चारों के चारों ball outside the off stump के line में गिरे हैं. चारों के चारों ball या तो point या तो cover की तरफ गए हैं. And
Yeah.
this pattern just keeps on repeating itself. And sure, getting 2 runs on every ball is not bad, but I think you need to start hitting a little more now.
Yeah, and this is also credit to the bowler of the Delhi Sharks, making sure that the balls he's giving over to Jayesh are only going to be hit really, realistically, towards that offside.
Yep.
Well,
And sure, on paper he might have given away 8 runs, but I think that's still much better than having someone score 15 runs in a single over.
yeah.
Now, unless he jinxes himself and relinquishes a boundary on the last ball, I think this is going to be a fantastic over in the grand scheme of things.
Well, another good shot, but the batsman is safe. And that's going to be the end of this over. 10 runs found.
Oh no, that was a no ball. That's a
no.
free hit.
That is unfortunate. The bowler slipping up there. Jitu lost focus for a second there. So abhi उन्हें 2 runs भी मिलेंगे plus a chance for a 6 और a boundary. देखते हैं.
ये देख लीजिए जयेश इस बार कितना निडर तरीके से खेल रहे हैं.
और हम देख सकते हैं very beautiful shot towards the square leg and that's a 4.
हर एक बॉल इस ओवर में आउटसाइड ऑफ द ऑफ स्टंप लाइन पर गिरी है और हर एक बार यहाँ पे जयेश ने कवर ड्राइव या फिर पॉइंट की तरफ मारा है. बट दिस टाइम बिकॉज इट्स अ फ्री हिट ही नोज इट्स रिस्क फ्री, तो वो अपने बैट्समैन को थोड़ा और ऑफ साइड की तरफ पोजीशन करेंगे एंड ही गोज इन फॉर अ नाइस कट all the way towards mid wicket, literally the opposite end of whatever he was doing up until now.
And I think न्यूयॉर्क एप्स के बारे में काफी खुश नहीं होंगे, लेकिन नेता की तरफ से वापस एक शानदार बॉल. अपनी फील्ड और अपने फील्डर्स की पोजीशन का बहुत ही अच्छा इस्तेमाल करते हुए, बस उनका गोल अभी सिर्फ एक है. उन्हें विकेट्स नहीं चाहिए, वो खाली ये चाहते हैं कि बॉल बाउंड्री में ना जाए.
Exactly. 3 overs, 41 runs, that's still very impressive. I think the fielder will get this, but quite a lot of running runs will be given away. A lot of going between the wicket.
Good throw, but again, the fielder, the batsman is completely safe. No sweat on Neep's brow, and he's gonna be striking again. Netha, काफी अच्छी bowling की है अभी तक. Oh, लेकिन this time around as well. In fact, fielder ने वो era cover किया था.
Yep.
Nothing towards the fine leg.
Oh, another height restriction warning. I mean, that short ball was good. If the timing was perfect, that cut could have gone all the way towards either square leg or fine leg, and it might have actually been a boundary. But just a little shy of the mark.
Oh, and this ball is up in the air and straight into the hands of the fielder, as that's a lenskart out. Jayesh, उन्होंने काफी कोशिश की, लेकिन उनकी नजर हटी और दुर्घटना घटी. जैसे हम वापस देख सकते हैं रिप्ले में, और वापस से न्यूयॉर्क एप्स के बॉलर्स बहुत ही अच्छे से
दिल्ली शार्क्स को बेट कर रहे हैं.
But still a decent performance from Jayesh. 23 runs उनके खाते में आए थे और वो काफी consistently double लिए जा रहे थे. Yeah, that was a very risky shot.
Very ambitious attempt.
Exactly. थोड़ा और leg side की तरफ position करके वो एक sweep मारने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, which is acceptable against a bunch of spinners. लेकिन ये ball जो थी वो कुछ ज़्यादा ही leg spin खा गई और बहुत direction change कर गई. Timing not matched. At least this time he will find 2 once again.
Oh no, a
misfield.
misfield coming in. That's going to be 3 runs at least. And the Apes again, I mean, there was cause for celebration in this over. And there's also, well, there's also some cause for some talk between the players, because that was not what was on the menu there.
Definitely not what the doctor ordered.
Oh yeah. As it's now going to be JD जहाँ पे bowling करेंगे. वापस से shot अच्छा था, लेकिन एरिया कवर है और वापस से न्यूयॉर्क एप्स की अवेयरनेस आप देख सकते हैं. बहुत ही सेफ bowling करते हुए इंश्योर कर रहे हैं कि बाउंड्रीज ज़्यादा नहीं गिव अप कर रहे. ये आखिरी ओवर है. दिल्ली शार्क को थोड़ा संभल के खेलना पड़ेगा. बट नॉनदलेस उन्होंने काफ़ी अच्छे बल्लेबाजी की है ये सिचुएशन में आके भी.
जेडी एक्चुअली देखे तो बॉल्स काफ़ी सिंपल थे. उनके बॉल्स में इतना ज़्यादा स्पिन है नहीं. वो पहले तो ओवर द विकेट डाल रहे थे, अब वो अराउंड द विकेट डालने वाले हैं. लेकिन देखते हैं इस बार भी उनकी बॉल ऑफ साइड के बाहर गिरती है कि नहीं. एटलीस्ट उनके पिछले 2 बॉल्स की लाइनिंग तो वैसे ही थी, लेकिन इस बार जो है वो बॉल थोड़ी लेग साइड पे गई. सो ही इज जस्ट कॉन्स्टेंटली चेंजिंग थिंग्स अप एंड जस्ट कीपिंग नीप ऑन हिज फीट, मेकिंग श्योर दैट ही डजंट गेट टू कंफर्टेबल.
Yeah. And that's a big win as well if you're the New York Apes, right? If you are making Neep uncomfortable, this man has only had an opportunity for 8 balls so far. But that's not going to stop him from attempting a boundary. And that's a 6. A pulse out, powerful 6.
Let's take a look at that one again. That was a beautiful one.
Oh
Great loft. And offside पे सीधा boundary के बाहर गया. Once again a similar ball and it's up in the air once again and it's in the arms. Into the warm embrace of the pavilion once again. Neep had a wonderful enough performance. A great strike rate, but eventually he will be sent packing again.
Oh yeah, beautiful catch. And again, वापस से New York Apes दिखाते हुए कि वो अभी भी दिल्ली शार्क्स के सर के साथ खेल रहे हैं. 4 विकेट ले ली गई है. आखिरी गेंद है. देखते हैं दिल्ली शार्क्स 60 का मार्क क्रॉस कर पाएगी कि या फिर यहीं पे न्यूयॉर्क एप्स अपना टारगेट पाएंगे. ओह ओके, इंटरेस्टिंग अटेम्प्ट, लेकिन दैट इज इट फॉर द फर्स्ट इनिंग्स.
All new Pulsar Mania is here. Maniacs wanted.
Piyush, hey, I was just on lenskart. ये जो price है $999, right?
नहीं करण, रुपीज है.
I can't be seen wearing glasses under 1 lakh. Price थोड़ा ज्यादा हो सकता है क्या?
करण, ये बढ़िया प्राइस है. It's only because we don't have middlemen.
90,000?
आप कहीं और से ले लो.
80,000.
I'm going. Bye.
अमीरों की हाई लगेगी तुझे.
फैक्ट्री वाले प्राइसेस, नो मिडलमैन. लेंसकार्ट, डाउनलोड द ऐप.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
फिनोलेक्स पाइप्स, पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.
Second innings, ladies and gentlemen, we switch sides. And the Apes are now on the ground. Let's see if they can indulge in a little bit of monkey business and hit some powerful shots during power play.
Yep, the opening bowler is going to be Mohan Panjra, the leg spinner for the side of the Sharks. Let's see what he can accomplish here over the course of 6 balls. The power play overs are the scariest ones, but if you play them right, you can also catch the batsman off guard. Just like the New York Apes did in the previous inning.
Quite an even spread of the field. At least we see all the bases being covered in the inner circle. लेकिन outer circle पे जो 2 players हैं वो mostly third man and fine leg की तरफ ही खड़े हैं.
Yeah.
I guess Molan is hoping to bowl fast ones so that he can get the batsman to nick it and then hopefully have the ball end up either in the wicket keeper's hands or in the slips.
Yeah, that seems to be the strat, but a quick change in positioning and batsman tries to find a gap. JD with a very strong start, but 2 is all the Apes will find on the first ball.
Nice square cut towards the offside. Good way to start the round. And I think even if they start playing with 2s and 3s in every ball, New York Apes should be able to cover up this entire score.
Yeah. They don't really need boundaries all that much, but that's still not going to stop them. The New York Apes are not just here to win, they're here to send a message. And that message is, well, you're going to need Gorilla's strength to stop us.
What movement of the wrist. That was a flick shot.
And another beautiful shot to follow up that one. Another boundary coming through for the New York Apes. The power play overs being utilized to full effect as the batsman continues to show his presence of mind.
He's finding the gap so well over here. JD is threading the needle every single time.
You don't need anything to get him out, boy.
Well, I doubt that. I think you're going to need a lot to take out this man because he's just in another boundary.
3 fours in a row, back to back to back.
No.
Molan is going to be feeling so bad right now. His confidence would be crushed. The run rate absolutely demolished.
Nothing to stop the Apes. The masters of the jungle continue to strike. And that's a 6. And I believe at this rate we might not even have 5 overs.
Exactly. JD showing us how it's done.
My, oh my. This has been a really good power play over, but this time around, the wicket will be found. Nazarati and Durgatnagati. And that's a wicket, a sigh of relief for the Delhi Sharks as Molan. He will at the very least get a wicket before he goes out.
Hey man, this was a long time coming. At least JD did everything he could in his power. 20 runs in just 5 balls. Come on, that is damn impressive. I think JD can retire well tonight, knowing that he did his absolute best. Not just on the batting side of things, but even in bowling, he was quite impactful.
Certainly, and you can see Kamal, the brute batsman, is still in play. He's actually not found a single ball so far, so this is Rajan's first ball as well, and starts off all right for them. They find 2, and like we talked about, even if they continue to score the 2s and 3s, they are in the clear.
A nice sidestep to put the ball towards Guava.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to keep in mind that this batsman also has changed his stance.
Oh man, and Manmeet, again, good presence of mind. And I mean, if this was any other game, I'd say what Manmeet is doing is very smart. He's making sure that the batsmen don't really find a lot of boundaries in the power play over, but
they don't even need boundaries at this point.
They don't need boundaries. You need to try and be riskier here if you want Manmeet. Try and bait the batsman in. And he's attempting that, but the batsman is also showing good presence of mind. Not really trying to hit a boundary, just making sure he's stroking the ball, getting those consistent 2s and 3s, because quite honestly, JD has done all the work already for the side of the Apes.
Exactly, man. That was some heavy lifting done by JD. If there is a man of the match award that has to be given, I would say that JD deserves it. Of course, it's a little too early to call it. But given his performance, at this point, even if the New York Apes don't get any boundaries, and if they just keep knocking 2s and 2s and 2s again and again, they will win eventually.
Oh yeah.
Without breaking a sweat, that too.
And that's exactly what they're doing just now as well. Rajan, a fantastic start for him. 5 balls, just making sure that he's defending that wicket, not giving it up for any reason whatsoever. And perhaps once the power play over is gone, he'll show a different side. But for now, the New York Apes still have a statement to make, and that statement is we are here to play, as the last ball of power play ends with a 4. Now it's Webber's turn, the left-hand bowler, to open up the 3rd over of this match.
Webber really feeling the pressure right now. Everyone else who came to the pitch before him, everyone who laid their hands on that ball, weren't able to alleviate the pressure. But now the New York Apes, they look like they might have thrown a banana peel or 2 under the skin of Delhi Sharks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the masters of the sea failing to compare up against the masters of the jungle. The apes beating the chest loud and humming in unison as well. That's a weird one.
Yeah.
An interesting shot.
I think he sidestepped a little too late and tried to go for that scoop. I don't have a problem against the scoop, but that positioning, yeah, that could have been timed better. Still, I think Kamal can afford to have mistimed moments like those, especially when he's going for
found the
boundaries
gap.
like that.
It has the ball, and the batsman has found the gap perfectly, and that's a 4. That's all thanks to Kamal.
Sheesh. You see, that ball did not even impact the front end of the bat. It was a little too high, and yet he has no problems getting it across the circle. And you can see, because of that boundary, there is an immediate change in the fielding stances. There's now 2 players towards the back. One on third man, one on fine leg, and the point and square leg areas are still covered.
Oh, yeah, but again, Kamal not too shy to play close to the wrist. As you can see, he is still trying to go for those boundaries, even though that's not really needed. Like I said, this is all about making a statement. And the New York Apes, they might not be lions, but they're roaring loud and clear, although that one looks finicky because it has gone straight into the hands of the fielder, and Kamal will be taken out, the brute batsman off the pitch for now, as the Apes might have bitten off a bit more they can chew.
That was a great wicket. Lenskart will be proud of that one. Kamal, not so much. He did eat up 4 deliveries in the process and only gave them 4 runs, which basically means all the momentum that JD gifted New York Apes will now be lost, and they will have to scratch their way back to the top again.
But looks like the Apes, they will continue to run across the pitch, get those 2s and 3s in, and might even just play it safe now. They need 20 runs and 13 balls.
Very doable target if they just conserve their wickets.
Extremely doable, and you must not fall into the trap of trying to be too aggressive with the batting. Take the opportunities which are given to you loud and clear, but no need to try and create them. As like the Apes said, they would much rather chase a target instead of setting a target.
And chase is something they are indeed good at.
Oh yeah.
Swinging from opportunity to opportunity. Damn, I think I'm making too many monkey references. No?
That's all right. I think you're doing great. Fantastic work, Prince.
Thank you so much for bearing my jokes, Floki.
Not at all, buddy. There's also probably another few 100,000 people watching this, so it's not just us.
Yeah, let's hope they appreciate my sense of humor. I do appreciate New York's batting, though.
Hey, so do I, and I'm quite sure that they're going to continue to put up the pace.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was
I don't understand why Neep is, in fact, not just Neep, in fact, I think the entirety of Delhi team in the last 2 overs have been going for something like this. They don't target the stumps. All of them have been either landing towards the outside area of the off stump or the leg stump line, so the ball isn't really landing in line, you know? I think what they're trying to do is set up traps, bait New York into a fall conception already and hopefully get a catch or 2, but that is just not happening.
Yeah, and another showstopper 4 coming through from the Apes for the 16th 4 of this tournament, just in the space of 2 matches and 20 overs.
I mean, man, the pulsar is fast, but the pace at which New York Apes are chasing this down, I think nobody can keep up.
Yeah, I think at this rate, they're probably going to give the cheetahs in the jungle a run for their money as well.
Well, luckily there are no cheetah-related teams over here, but...
Okay. Well, in real life, that might be classified as assault, but not here.
Sheesh. Thank goodness for pixels.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the batsman also playing games with the positioning, but...
Is that a wide?
That looked finicky, but no, it's good. That ball is
good.
perfect.
All right. Cool. They need more dot balls like these. This is exactly how you put pressure on the New York Apes. But then again, a single boundary will alleviate all of that pressure.
Oh, yeah, and well, speaking of which, that is not going to be a boundary, but consistent twos, a chance for an out. No. Went to the bowler's hands. Not enough time to get the stumping, but still, it's the Apes firmly in the driver's seat. not letting their foot off the gas pedal.
Oh, that was a good one. Straight drive, especially with the batsman stepping towards the side to compensate for the trajectory of the ball. Even though that was a single, I think this pace will get New York Apes across the finish line quite safely. We are now down to the last over, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it all comes down to. Jayesh stepping into bowl for Delhi Sharks. He needs to fish his team out of the water, keep their head above, keep them afloat.
Yeah, the Sharks, they certainly don't feel comfortable here in this last over.
But do they smell blood?
They just might, the Apes. While they haven't really felt any deep gashes just yet, they have been nicked. Perhaps that is enough for the Sharks as an interesting shot.
No!
Oh, but a misfield coming through, but that's okay.
Yeah, indeed, it is. I mean, even if this one was a wicket, I don't think a bunch of wickets can save Delhi Sharks anymore.
I mean, hey, if if they combine that with a couple of dot balls, maybe then you can start to get inside the Apes' head. But
now you're talking.
Yeah, Jeetu has done a very good job of keeping his cool. He is not really attempted to go for those crazy boundaries unless he sees a clear chance. A chance such as this one, perhaps. Yes, and that's a six. And you can see the faces droop on the side of Delhi Sharks, as they are not too pleased about that.
That's a powerful pulsar shot all the way across the boundary, and with this, the target becomes negligible for the Delhi Sharks. Sorry, for the New York Apes.
That's all right. You and I get confused between Sharks and Apes. I was never good at botany or zoology.
I mean, one's a predator, the other one is neutral, perhaps?
Perhaps, but the Apes have done it. They chased their target down successfully, folks, and that is the end of the second match, with the Apes taking a very clear win. Beautiful performance coming through from their side, as I believe the Delhi Sharks just never really had an answer.
Absolutely not. They probably would have had a chance against New York Apes if it wasn't for JD and his absolutely smashing first over. He did not even survive one over in that entire innings, but man, every ball that he was on that pitch, he made it worth it.
Yep. And I have to say, even the bowlers, they were given the freedom from the side of the Apes to play as they see fit, right? That was the call that was made. But you know what? Our thoughts on that are rather rudimentary. We will leave the breakdown of the game over to the experts at the analyst panel right after this very short break. Well, folks, that's it for this match. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back very shortly with the third game of the day. But for now, we're going to be going to a break.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा।
finolex pipes, पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं।
What an exciting match it was. The winning captain JD, please आइए। यार मनमीत तो कह रहे थे। A big round of applause, guys. First of all, what a dominating performance. यार मनमीत कह रहे थे सारे teams अच्छे हैं, but you proved to be the better team.
Because हमारी टीम में क्योंकि हमारी टीम में 4 बेस्ट प्लेयर हैं, जो इस टीमर के 4 फाइनलिस्ट हैं, वो चारों के चारों हमारी टीम में, और रजीन है जो सबसे बढ़िया चेज करने में, लाइक विराट कोहली है हमारी टीम में रजीन।
क्या बात,
सबने अच्छा खेला है।
बट यार आप अपने बारे में बताइए, 6 बॉल 30 रन, व्हाट वाज दैट? लाइक स्ट्रैटेजी वही था?
बिल्कुल, जाना है और मारना है,
जाना है और मारना है, और मार दिया।
Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
lenskart. Download the app now.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा।
finolex pipes. पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं।
Well, the season of Diwali might have got over in India, but not the fireworks out here at the GEPL. Let me tell you, first over, right away, you got sixes, you got fours, you also wicket.
Well, that is what this platform is all about, isn't it? I mean, GEPL, bringing in the e-cricket element, in a Premier League style onto the mobile platforms. Real cricket, मतलब यही है जोश जो आपको देखने को मिलेगा। और बिल्कुल आपने सही कहा कि अभी दिवाली ख़त्म हुई है, नहीं हुई है, नहीं हुई है। जिस तरीके से चौके और छक्के की बारिश हुई है जेडी के बल्ले से, मेरे हिसाब से मैन ऑफ द मैच परफॉर्मेंस है। उन्होंने फिफ्थ जो ओवर डाला उसमें उन्होंने एक विकेट भी उठाया और उसके बाद उन्होंने 20 रन बनाए। जैसा कि क्रिप्स ने बताया था, एवरी बॉल ही फेस्ड ही हिट अ बाउंड्री। दैट वाज ब्रिलियंट टू वॉच। एक नज़र डालते हैं स्कोर कार्ड पर किस तरीके से यहाँ पर दिल्ली शार्क्स ने रन बनाए। इनकी शुरुआत ज़्यादा बेटर नहीं रही। विश्वास जो सबसे बड़े खिलाड़ी हैं इनके, जो बहुत बढ़िया स्ट्राइक रेट है उनका, वो आउट हो गए डक पे। यहाँ पे मैं एक बात ज़रूर बताना चाहूँगा, आप देखिए 4 विकेट गिरे हैं 5 ओवर में, 4 विकेट खोए हैं। हर एक ओवर को छोड़ के हर ओवर में विकेट खोया यहाँ पर, एंड दैट आई थिंक वाज प्रॉब्लमैटिक फॉर डेली।
Absolutely. Well, the start was good, and we eventually came down to 12 runs in the first over. Webber got a good start. Would you like to put something on that?
Webber got a good start, but again, they were losing wickets very, very regularly. जैसा मैंने कहा, New York Apes were really good with their bowling performance. हर ओवर में उन्होंने एक विकेट निकाला है 4 ओवर में, और एक जो 5वें ओवर में जो उन्होंने विकेट नहीं लिया, वहाँ पे उन्होंने डॉट डिलीवरीज कराई हैं। ये दिल्ली का बॉलिंग स्कोर कार्ड है। अगेन लुक एट दैट इकॉनमी। पहले ही ओवर में जो 20 रन पिटे, उससे दिल्ली शार्क्स जो है रिकवर नहीं कर पाए। उसके बाद नीप और वैभव ने अच्छी बॉलिंग की, राइट, दे ट्राई टू पुल द गेम बैक, लेकिन विद द काइंड ऑफ स्टार्ट न्यूयॉर्क हैड, उसके बाद गेम टर्न करना बहुत मुश्किल था।
Well, Apes were putting constant pressure with bowling, remember, and I think that's what led to the Sharks succumbing to that pressure. 60, was it a good target, you think? Perhaps falling a little short?
I think it was a par target. I think इस फील्ड पर, इस मैदान पर हमने पहले मैच में भी देखा था, चेन्नई और चेन्नई का जो मुकाबला था उसमें भी हमने देखा था सिडनी के अगेंस्ट, कि उन्होंने भी 60 के अराउंड का टारगेट था। तो आई थिंक दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ पार स्कोर। जैसे जैसे टूर्नामेंट आगे बढ़ती जाएगी, रिमेंबर हमारे व्यूअर्स को हम बता दें कि देयर आर 60 मैचेस। आई थिंक वी आर गोइंग टू सी लोअर एंड लोअर स्कोर्स एज बॉलर्स गेट शार्पर। दे नो कि बैट्समैन कैसे खेल रहे हैं, क्या उनके प्रीसेट शॉट्स हैं, किस तरीके की वो फील्ड को तोड़ सकते हैं। फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव आई थिंक द स्कोर्स आर गोइंग टू गो लोअर एंड, लेकिन फॉर द स्टार्ट ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट आई थिंक 55-60 इज पार स्कोर। एंड लुकिंग एट न्यूयॉर्क एप्स, जिस तरीके से उन्होंने बॉलिंग की, आई थिंक दिस वॉज द मैच विनिंग परफॉर्मेंस फ्रॉम न्यूयॉर्क एप्स। आप जेडी को देखें, हर ओवर में उन्होंने एक विकेट निकाला। जीतू ने विकेट नहीं निकाला, लेकिन उन्होंने डॉट डिलीवरीज जरूर कराई थी। एंड अगेन द परफॉर्मेंस फ्रॉम जेडी, दैट वाज अ मैन ऑफ द मैच
Performance from JD, man of the match. Well, if you're viewing the game, you might have your own opinion as well about how or who could be the man of the match. Remember, it's a team collective effort, but one individual stands out for sure. Would you want to take a quick take on Neep with that quick 20 runs in 10 balls?
That was needed. That was needed from Neep for Delhi. उस 20 रन के बिना दिल्ली का स्कोर बिल्कुल भी नहीं होता। I mean, they scored what, 59 runs? अगर वो 20 रन भी हटा देंगे तो you're just left with 39 runs, which is not really a good score. So I think that was a good performance from Neep for his team. But from that perspective, Jayesh ने उस performance को बिल्कुल negate कर दिया, and that too in the first over, in the power play. उसके बाद there was no coming back for Delhi.
Absolutely. Well, you have a look at the bowling scorecard as well. Incredible. I mean, I think we'll have to give it for the Apes to constantly putting pressure on them, which eventually led to the succumbing of Delhi Sharks. But, well, again, you look at how the match went forward with it. A lot of positives to take for the Sharks as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they'll look at a couple of performance and they'll say, okay, you know what, this is what we should have done. This is something that we can improve. बहुत लंबा tournament होने वाला है, like you said, 56 matches in this double league stage, और 8 टीमें हैं, तो there are still 13 matches remaining for Delhi. So there's not a lot lost at the moment, but they'll be like, okay, you know what, we could have done better. और man of the match कौन होंगे? मैं तो hint दे चुका हूँ. आपको क्या लगता है?
Well, मैं चूज करूंगा. Well, मेरे लिए ऐसा लगता है मेरे रजीन अगर होते थे तो मेरे मैन ऑफ द मैच जरूर होते थे with the kind of innings which he anchored along with Jitu as well, and of course it's JD. Well, we'll have our own picks like I rightly mentioned at the start, but well, to each their own, and of course incredible start, 20 runs, crucial 20 runs there, which led to that push forward for the Apes, of course, and the strike rate of 333. Now that's what really changes the course of the game when you're batting out there. Most importantly, the mental aspect. When you put on an inning like this, it's game over for the opponent.
जी हाँ, और बिल्कुल हमने बात भी की थी कि इनका 237 का स्ट्राइक रेट है. एंड लुक एट हिम, लेंसकार्ट का स्पेक्स लगा के, that's your lenskart blue specs. That's how you play real cricket, with the lenskart spectacles. And we are looking at his batting performance. सिर्फ बैटिंग परफॉर्मेंस नहीं देखनी है, हमें बॉलिंग परफॉर्मेंस भी देखनी है. उन्होंने 5th ओवर डाला, 1 विकेट उठाया, and that for me sealed the game for both Delhi and for New York, and he won the game for New York in 2 overs.
Well, now, of course, we talk about important partnerships getting up to this game, because it's partnership, of course, which will help you anchor that innings, and one was such of this. Talk about JD and Kamal creating that 20-run partnership from the start. And we speak about, like I mentioned, about Jitu and Razin giving him that all-important anchor. That's 6 in the last over, of course, which just made it easy, isn't it?
Absolutely. और Razin, it was important for him to stay at the wicket. जिस तरीके का start उन्हें मिला था JD के through, उसके बाद it was important to not lose wickets, not lose that momentum. Delhi के पास गेम में वापसी करने का केवल एक ही मौका था कि वो विकेट्स लेते. JD को आउट करने के बाद वो Razin ने नहीं होने दिया. 2 important partnerships again completely dominated the game, and I think New York deserving winners of this match.
And of course, you've heard it from the analyst, New York, but again, nothing for them to be disheartened. They go forward to play another game in this game. And of course, when you go forward, well, we have a look at the 4s and 6s brought to you by, of course, the Pulsar NS125. Yeah. But before we go, of course, to the 4s and 6s, we'll have a look at the partnerships, the partnership of the Apes.
And Delhi की partnerships में अगर हम नजर डालें, जिस तरीके से यहाँ पे double figures की partnership हुई हैं, the start was really bad. Biswas getting out on the first ball was really harmful for Delhi's fortunes in this game. लेकिन जो एक मेन पार्टनरशिप आई, जयेश भाई उन्होंने अपनी पार्टनरशिप दिखाई नीप के साथ, लेकिन 22 of 12 balls, नीप, he went on to the next partnership as well. He contributed important runs, but it was not enough to, turn the game in Delhi's favor.
Well, partnership, of course, could be built, remember, while they're playing. Again, I speak about that a lot of times, that it's important to anchor the innings, and what the openers have done out here is given them a good start. In both cases, of course, you saw the Delhi Sharks doing it as well, along with the New York Apes as well. But what really matters in the end is getting those all-important crucial runs at the last end, which, of course, Jitu with that 6 confirmed that victory for them. Now, we go forward in understanding the 4s and 6s, because, again, in a sport like this, in a game like this, it becomes so important. Bring to you the 4 and 6s by the Pulsar NS125 Showstopper.
Not a lot of 4s and 6s from Delhi's point of view. ये अगर हम देखें Delhi की highlights हैं, Biswas, again a disappointment कि उनको ज़्यादा नहीं मिले. Vaibhav started off very well. I think he was the star for Delhi. He gave them the start that they wanted after Biswas got out. But again, they did not continue this throughout the innings. मतलब 59 के ऊपर लेके जा सकते थे, लेकिन again, not too many 4s and 6s from Delhi, and I think that was a bit of a disappointment from their perspective.
Well, absolutely. You're seeing the 4s and 6s while they went out. Right at the start of the innings, I think it doesn't help you, strategically and also mentally to anchor your innings.
Absolutely. और अब हम JD की highlights पे आ गए हैं. उनकी पूरी innings ही highlights रही हैं. 5 बॉलों पे उन्होंने 20 रन बनाए. He started off slowly, if you can say it slowly. उन्होंने पहली बॉल पे 2 रन बनाए. उसके बाद चौके और छक्के, जैसे आपने कहा रोशन, दिवाली मनाई है आज उन्होंने, JD ने न्यूयॉर्क में. और ये मेलबर्न का मैदान, हम कह रहे हैं ना अपने व्यूअर्स को कि ये MCG पे हो रहे हैं. It's not easy to hit those 6s and those 4s. Timing, power, everything. और बाद में Razin ने भी boundaries लगाए. Like I said, New York has completely dominated the game today. और आज ये भी हम बता दें अपने व्यूअर्स को कि दूसरा मुकाबला भी होगा न्यूयॉर्क एप्स का. चेन्नई पहला मुकाबला जीते, न्यूयॉर्क दूसरा मुकाबला जीते. फर्स्ट डे के लास्ट मुकाबले में चेन्नई और न्यूयॉर्क आमने सामने होंगे. I can't wait for that matchup.
The matches are going to continue, of course, on the GEPL, but we talk about the wickets as well, which are important. Some of them very crucial, falling in the very first over. Talk about that wicket for Delhi Sharks, which fell down, and then eventually they had to kind of cope up with the pressure.
Yeah, Biswas is an important player for them. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he is their brute player. हम अपने viewers को बता दें, brute player has a good timing, good power, very little margin of error. तो वो margin of error जो है आज उनके लिए खराब रह गया. पहली बॉल पे आउट हुए. After that, you know, Delhi was always playing catch up. और जब आप ऐसी गेम में 5 ओवर की गेम में कैच अप खेल रहे हैं पहली बॉल से, यू आर अंडर द पंप. एंड आई थिंक न्यूयॉर्क्स बॉलिंग वाज रियली गुड इनफ टू जस्ट डोमिनेट द गेम. नजर डालेंगे हम किस तरीके से विकेटें गिरी हैं आज, एंड आई थिंक इट विल बी रियली डिसअपॉइंटिंग व्यूइंग फॉर दिल्ली.
We'll have a look at the wickets as well, brought to you by lenskart.
Well, there you go. पहली ही बॉल जो खेली बिस्वास ने आज और वो आउट हो गए. That was a good LBW shout. एक पैटर्न बनकर आ रहा है यहाँ पे that teams are starting the innings with left arm spin. A lot of them are bowling outside the off stump. So a lot of movement we are seeing, and obviously this is not like real life cricket. This is real cricket. So यहाँ पे we see a lot of movement as the crease from that perspective. So yeah, disappointing from Delhi that they lost 4 wickets. And again हमें इस बात पे ज़रूर नोटिफिकेशन डालना चाहिए कि न्यूयॉर्क ने 5 में से 4 ओवर में विकेट उठाए. एवरी ओवर अपार्ट फ्रॉम 1 उसमें विकेट आया, और जिस ओवर में विकेट नहीं आया उसमें डॉट बॉल आया. सो फ्रॉम ऑल राउंड परफॉर्मेंस फ्रॉम न्यूयॉर्क एप्स, चाहे बैट हो चाहे बॉल हो, completely dominated the game.
मैं आपको एक और जरूर चीज पूछना चाहूँगा. Is toss turning out to be a real good factor? Because you've seen the teams winning the toss is turning out winning the game as well, and I'm pretty sure all of the players out here are actually taking a note of it as well.
You know, we discussed that जितना छोटा फॉर्मेट होता जाता है ना, उतना we want कि टारगेट हमारे सामने हो. अगर आप अंतर्राष्ट्रीय क्रिकेट में भी देखेंगे, रियल लाइफ क्रिकेट में भी देखेंगे, तो T20 फॉर्मेट में या ODI फॉर्मेट में टीम्स लाइक टू चेज अ बिट. यू नो, जितना आप फॉर्मेट छोटा करते जाएंगे, हमने GEPL ग्लोबल ecricket प्रीमियर लीग में और भी छोटा कर दिया है, 5 ओवर का कर दिया है. सो फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव teams want to win the toss and bowl. They want the target in front of them. I think yes, that is going to be a pattern going ahead.
Well, absolutely. Now we'll have to see how that affects the points table after Chennai win and of course after New York win as well. Let's have a look at the points table then.
जी हाँ, यहाँ पर पहली जीत दर्ज की थी चेन्नई ने, लेकिन रन रेट की बदौलत न्यूयॉर्क हैज ओवरटेकन. और हम अपने व्यूअर्स को फिर से याद दिला दें, फर्स्ट मैच डे यानी आज का 5वां जो मुकाबला है वो न्यूयॉर्क और चेन्नई के बीच खेला जाएगा. The two teams that have started their tournament on a winning note, they'll be playing today, they'll be clashing today. I can't wait. Roshan, can you wait?
Well, certainly not. Clash of the top table, of course, table of top, which you can see out there. New York have gone through with the net run rate. Chennai would be coming back strong after that victory as well when they look forward to go for it. And I'm pretty sure Chennai have gone back to the drawing board, done their homework, watched New York Apes, just like New York Apes did to Chennai. And that's going to be a clash of titans for today.
Clash of the titans. And, you know, winning starts for both sides. And they would want... एक ही team है आज जो perfect record लेके जाएगी यहाँ से.
Well, we'll have a look at the total run score. But before that, let's have a look at the most runs scored by the batsmen today.
Well, these are the players who have the most runs in GEPL 2023. Pradyumna, Sydney के लिए उन्होंने खेला है 31 runs. Couldn't take his side to victory, but he's leading the run scoring charts. Jayesh भाई ने अपनी entry की है इस पे 23. And, you know, he is going to be an important player. But JD, with that strike rate, he is exceptional. I think so far in the first 2 games, he's been the exceptional player.
But also I'd like to put light on the thing that even a 20 or 25 odd runs in that in an inning really changes the course of the game, isn't it?
Absolutely, they do change it because it's a very, very small format, very, very short format. 5 ओवर में 20-25 रन काफ़ी होते हैं मैच को बिल्कुल पलट देने के लिए. वही जयेश ने किया, प्रद्युम्न नहीं कर पाए, लेकिन जयेश ने किया. देखिए किस तरीके से अनिल leading for Chennai with 3 wickets. I think that was a superb over. Again, it shows. और यहाँ पे आप देखिए JD आए हैं, which is a little disappointing that you know he has just the 1 wicket. न्यूयॉर्क की पूरी टीम ने सिर्फ एक विकेट उठाई है. So, but it shows a collective bowling effort from न्यूयॉर्क. जब चेन्नई और न्यूयॉर्क का मुकाबला होगा, it's going to be a battle of the bowling attacks.
Well, absolutely. I've seen overall, it's very important to be an all-rounder in this game, not just be a good batter or the good bowler for that matter. And we've seen exactly JD do that in that course of the game. Well, we look at the strike rate because one of the most crucial aspects when you're playing a real cricket game, especially in the GPL, could also be that strike rate. Chetan, I think you see that strike rate of JD. We're just speaking about an all-round performance from JD. Talk about strike rate, talk about bowling, talk about batting as well. This man is on the top.
Absolutely, and you know, it's brilliant. Anil has brought in an all-round performance, and JD again an all-round performance. So ये दो जो खिलाड़ी हैं अपनी teams के लिए, they are going to be very, very useful players, all-rounders in a 5-over match. Really, really important. यहाँ पे दो खिलाड़ी हैं जो न्यूयॉर्क की टीम के हैं. राजिन ने भी एंट्री की है. So New York have made a very, very strong start in terms of the strike rate. Both batsmen, high strike rate and also contributing with the ball.
Well, absolutely. Now, New York, of course, will have a task ahead up in hand when they come down to play eventually against Chennaiwolves. But we are building up for the game. Kolkata are going to play Mumbai Grizzlies as well eventually in the evening. But the next game coming up would be Dubai Vipers against London Rhinos. Two new teams who are going to take on each other. They've been a spectator here. They're going to come down to play. What will really matter is now from this perspective is that they're seeing that the toss is really helpful or rather crucial in that perspective. Dubai Vipers, we want to predict something about that.
You know, it's not easy to predict. You know, it's not easy to predict in a 5-over game, especially in a mobile platform or you know in a e-cricket. Let's be honest. E-cricket Premier League में आप predict नहीं कर सकते हैं. You know, from that perspective.
But to put you that, we did predict the first game. All the four, including the casters, including Cripps and Floki, even Chetan and me, and it turned out well. Lucky for us, to be very honest. Maybe we could not have predicted the other games. But again, a game of cricket, it can go anywhere. Real cricket can go anywhere, of course. So, going forward, the next game, excited?
Absolutely excited. It's going to be Dubai Vipers versus the London Rhinos.
Well, there it is. Keep updated, and as we go forward to Neeraj, who's down there.
That was the end of match number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are cutting off for a small intermission, but stay glued to your seat. We will be right back.
All new Pulsar Mania's here. Maniacs wanted.
अब आगे कुछ भी हो सकता है.
निकर और टी-शर्ट पहन के आया साइकिल लोन लगा के फोन बता दे सबको बच के
All flights to remain grounded.
चारों घड़ी जिद कर देगी.
जो खुद की सुनते हैं दुनिया उनकी सुनती है. लेंसकार्ट आकड़ है.
लेकिन ये पाइप चलेगा.
फिनोलेक्स पाइप्स पीढ़ियां बदलेंगी, पाइप नहीं.